the abandoned cabin. I was excited when my parents told me we were going on a vacation to a remote cabin in the woods. It sounded like a fun adventure, and the pictures of the place looked beautiful. Little did I know that our Airbnb experience would turn into a nightmare. As we drove deeper into the woods, the road became increasingly narrow and twisted. Finally, we reached the cabin and my heart sank. It was old and decrepit, covered in moss and surrounded by overgrown weeds. It looked like it hadn't been inhabited in years. Despite the creepy appearance, we decided to give it a chance. The first night was unsettling. I kept hearing strange scratching sounds coming from the walls, as if something was trying to get inside. I tried to dismiss it as just the wind, but it felt too deliberate. The next day, we decided to explore the surrounding area. As we walked through the woods, we stumbled upon an old graveyard hidden amongst the trees. The tombstones were weathered and cracked, and some had fallen over. It was an eerie sight, and I couldn't shake off the feeling that we were being watched. Back at the cabin that night, things took a turn for the worse. The scratching sounds grew louder and more frantic. Suddenly, the lights flickered and the cabin plunged into darkness. Panic set in as we fumbled for flashlights. Shadows danced on the walls, and I swore I saw figures moving in the corner of my eye. We decided to leave the cabin and find somewhere safer. As we gathered our belongings, I caught a glimpse of a photo tucked away in a drawer. It was a picture of a family, their eyes scratched out. The cabin had a dark past, and it seemed like the spirits of its previous occupants still lingered. We managed to find a hotel nearby and spent the night there. The scratching sounds and eerie presence didn't follow us, but the memories of that haunted cabin still haunt me. I'll never forget the feeling of being watched and the sense of dread that filled the air. It was an Airbnb experience I wish I could erase from my memory. As we drove away from the haunted cabin, a sense of relief washed over us. The scratching sounds and eerie presence had finally been left behind, but the memories of that nightmarish experience continued to haunt my thoughts. We found solace in a cozy bed and breakfast situated by a serene lake. The owners, a kind elderly couple, welcomed us warmly and provided a much-needed respite from the horrors we had endured. It was a stark contrast to the desolate cabin in the woods. Still plagued by curiosity, I couldn't resist the urge to dig deeper into the cabin's dark history. I spent hours researching online, searching for any information that could shed light on the spirits that had tormented us. Finally, I stumbled upon a local newspaper article from many years ago. The article revealed a tragic tale of a family that had once lived in the cabin. One stormy night, the parents had perished in a horrific accident while their young daughter went missing, presumed dead. The cabin had been abandoned ever since, becoming a hotbed for rumors of paranormal activity. Armed with this newfound knowledge, I felt a mix of sympathy and sorrow for the spirits that had clung to the cabin. They were trapped in a perpetual state of anguish, their souls unable to find peace. Determined to help them, I reached out to a paranormal investigator who specialized in ghostly phenomena. The investigator agreed to meet us at the cabin, intrigued by the reports of supernatural occurrences. Equipped with various electronic devices and a team of experts, we ventured back into the heart of the woods. The weather seemed to mirror the tumultuous nature of our mission, with dark clouds gathering overhead. As we stepped foot into the cabin once more, the atmosphere was heavy with anticipation. The investigator set up his equipment, explaining that he would attempt to establish contact with the spirits that resided there. We waited in silence, the air thick with anticipation. Suddenly, the investigator's voice crackled through the static of a spirit box. Faint whispers emerged, ethereal and haunting. It was the voice of a young girl, desperate and filled with sorrow. She revealed her name, Emily, and recounted the tragic events that had taken place all those years ago. We listened intently, our hearts heavy with empathy. Emily pleaded for help, trapped between the realms of the living and the dead. The investigator, with a compassionate tone, assured her that we would do everything in our power to aid her and her family. Through a series of sessions, we gradually made progress. The investigator employed techniques such as EVP, electronic voice phenomenon recordings, capturing chilling messages from the spirits. We learned of their desires to find closure, to be reunited in the afterlife. Together with the investigator, we organized a memorial service for Emily and her family. In a clearing near the cabin, we lit candles and offered our heartfelt prayers, hoping to provide solace and a path towards resolution. As we concluded the ceremony, a profound stillness settled upon the woods. The scratching sounds that had once filled the cabin's walls were replaced by a gentle breeze rustling through the leaves. It was as if the spirits had finally found peace, their tormented souls released from the shackles of the earthly plane. Leaving the cabin behind, I felt a sense of fulfillment and closure. Our Airbnb experience had started as a nightmare, but had transformed into a journey of compassion and understanding. The haunted cabin had become a place of healing, a testament to the power of empathy and the possibility of finding redemption even in the darkest of places, though the memory of that haunted cabin will forever linger in my mind. I take solace in knowing that we had made a difference, helping lost souls find their way home.